In this video, we're going to take a closer look at the 5 lightest gaming laptops in 2022. To help you choose the best one for your needs, we spent some time with them to determine if they're going to be worth your money. Links for all of the laptops mentioned in this video will be in the description box below. Let's get started. Number 5. MSI Stealth 15M, the lightest 15-inch gaming laptop. The MSI Stealth 15M is the one and only gaming laptop with a 15-inch screen on our list, which is a big deal. We know a lot of gamers who won't consider anything smaller than a 15-inch screen for immersion, detail, or other factors. So having an option like the Stealth 15M in a lighter and more portable configuration is a pretty big deal, especially when it's a 144Hz FHD display. Despite the larger screen size, there's a negligible difference in weight and width from the 13 and 14-inch laptops you'll see later in this video. It's incredibly light at 3.7 pounds and delightfully thin at only 0.63 inches, 16 millimeters thick, making it easily the lightest and most compact 15-inch laptop on the market today. On paper, the Stealth 15M has a ton of gaming performance. The inclusion of an RTX 3060 promises a lot of power, and the high clock rate offered by the i7 Intel processor delivers high performance across a lot of games, including the newest titles. Admittedly, the i7 is only a quad-core processor, which is still more than enough for gaming, but streaming and some more demanding applications are going to take a hit. The issue, as with a lot of laptops this thin, is with the thermals. This laptop runs hot and loud, putting off temps upward of 47 degrees Celsius, or 117 degrees Fahrenheit. Because of this, you might not be able to make full use of the 30 series graphics card, especially when gaming for a longer period of time. Construction-wise, the lightweight laptop isn't quite as sturdy as a couple of the other options, but that's a sacrifice you often see companies making to get an extremely thin product. There's a little flex when you open and close the screen. Plus, the keyboard is a bit spongy. But other than that, there's nothing that makes the laptop feel cheap or flimsy. The last couple of things we didn't like were the brightness and battery life. At maximum, the screen isn't very bright, maxing out at 278 nits. That's lower than average and likely to affect usability when you're in brightly lit areas or outdoors. And even with a dimmer screen, the battery life is really not great. On average use, it only gets about 4 hours, and precipitously less if you're running it under any sort of load, which isn't ideal if you're frequently traveling with your laptop. All in all, the MSI Stealth 15M is a much better laptop on paper than it is in execution. It's thin, lightweight, and the fact that the screen is larger than other highly portable gaming laptops is definitely a plus. But apart from that, there's not much to recommend it over the ASUS or RAZER laptops. Number 4. ASUS ROG ZEPHYRUS G14, the best ultra-lightweight 14-inch laptop. The ROG ZEPHYRUS G14 from ASUS is the point where we go from light for a laptop to light for a gaming laptop. But make no mistake, it's an excellent machine, no question about that. At 3.64 pounds, or 1.65 kilograms, it's still lighter than you'll see from a lot of gaming laptops, especially from Lenovo, which is conspicuously absent from this video, despite making several great gaming laptops. 3.6 pounds is about the average weight you'll see for a lot of laptops. And at 0.7 inches, or 18 millimeters thick, it's a tiny bit bulkier than our top picks. But it definitely feels like a premium gaming laptop, and looks like one too. The extra width is negligible, and combined with a 14-inch screen, it's still going to be plenty portable. The case is made of an aluminum alloy, which explains the weight, but not the width. For that, you have to look at the thermals, along with a couple of other factors, which perform considerably better than most ultralight gaming laptops. Despite that, the ZEPHYRUS G14 still puts out a lot of heat, so you'll want a table or desk for sustained gaming. But since the vent construction is better, it's mostly going where it's supposed to, and doesn't throttle performance because of overheating. Another thing contributing to the width is the Enemy Matrix, a panel made up of over 1,000 LED pixels that can be used to display the ROG logo, your battery life, an audio visualizer, or tons of other custom features. It doesn't add anything performance-wise, but it's a really cool feature, and one that makes the ZEPHYRUS G14 really stand out as a stylish brand-forward option. The more powerful battery also contributes to the weight, but gives the ZEPHYRUS 14 up to a whopping 11 to 12 hours of battery life, which will easily get you through a whole day of use. Performance-wise, this is doing pretty well and is in line with what you'd expect from the specs. A Ryzen 9 5900HS, 16GB of RAM, and an NVIDIA RTX 3060 deliver gaming performance that's only going to dip below 60 FPS in the case of big sandbox games like Cyberpunk or Red Dead Redemption 2. Additionally, the display is a 144Hz Full HD screen with almost 300 nits of brightness, making it suitable in most environments and perfect for gaming. Plus, the display covers nearly 100% of the sRGB color gamut, which also makes it suitable for graphic designers and photo editors. Lastly, the ASUS ROG ZEPHYRUS 14 is quite a bit more expensive than even the Blade Stealth 13, but it does outperform it in a couple of key areas. If you're leaning more towards the gaming side of portable gaming laptop, this should be at the top of your list. You'll notice the weight difference if you need to spend a big chunk of your day hauling this around, but it offers excellent performance and still fits easily and securely in any backpack or carrying case. Number 3. RAZER Blade Stealth 13, Best Ultra-Portable Gaming Laptop Overall. The RAZER Blade Stealth 13 is currently the only gaming ultrabook available for sale in 2022. We keep going back and forth on how meaningful of a distinction this is, because while Ultrabook is mostly a branding exercise by Intel, it's also one that employs a few useful metrics, especially for the purposes of this review. An Ultrabook is any laptop that uses an Intel processor and is 0.6 inches thick or less. So a gaming Ultrabook, especially one from RAZER, is going to feature a lot of processing power and be extremely portable. One thing you'll notice as you pick up the Blade Stealth 13 is that it's a bit heavier than you'd expect for a laptop this size, but that makes it feel sturdy and balanced to a degree that you only ever see in really premium gaming brands. It's the aluminum case that's giving it both the slimness and the sturdy heft, and the two factors mostly balance each other out in terms of portability. It's also worth noting that you're paying a bit more for the engineering than the performance. The RAZER Blade Stealth 13 ships with a 4-core i7 processor, 16GB of RAM, a GTX 1650 Ti, and a 512GB SSD. The stats are fairly similar to much cheaper laptops, so it's definitely possible to get the on-paper performance for a lower price. Furthermore, the thermals on the Blade 13 are a lot better than most laptops this size. So you're not going to be throttled by overheating components to the same degree as you might be in less well-constructed laptops. Of course, the NVIDIA 1650 Ti is still going to be a bit of a limiting factor, and while you'll be able to run this year's top games, they'll probably still be well below 60 FPS. It's going to have no problems with online games, though the smaller screen can be limiting at times. The battery life is another area where the Stealth Blade 13 justifies its slightly higher price tag, with 9 to 10 hours of light use. That makes it one of the strongest contenders in this video, and one of the only ones that pass the full day of work standard. All in all, the RAZER Blade Stealth 13 is in a lot of ways the best laptop in its category. It may not be the lightest gaming laptop, but it's a difference of barely more than half a pound from the lightest to this one, and it more than makes up for its slimness and battery life. In terms of performance, it's got one of the higher price-to-performance ratios you'll see this year, but it truly feels like it's worth the money. Plus, with a better cooling capacity, you're getting a slightly better level of performance than other laptops with the same specs might be able to offer. If money isn't an object, the RAZER Blade Stealth 13 is the best ultra-portable gaming laptop in 2022. Number 2. ASUS ROG Flow X13, the lightest 13-inch gaming laptop. Seeing an entry from ASUS gaming powerhouse ROG come in this light was pretty exciting. The ASUS ROG Flow X13 is a little more expensive than what you might consider its nearest competitors, the MSI Prestige 14 and the RAZER Blade Stealth 13. But at a glance, the performance, innovative technology, and portability of the ROG Flow X13 made it seem worth the price. The ironic thing about small laptops is that there's a lot of room to go wrong, and the X13 might have run into a couple of issues here. In theory, the Flow X13 is a phenomenal laptop. It packs a ton of power and has the ability to connect with the XG Mobile portable eGPU to add a 3080 GPU to boost its already impressive specs. On its own, it comes with an NVIDIA RTX 3050 Ti, an 8-core Ryzen 9 5900HS processor, 16 GB of RAM, and a full terabyte SSD. It's not just an extremely powerful gaming laptop, but one that can also handle pretty intensive editing tasks. The display lends itself to creative activities as well. The 1920 by 1200 display gives you slightly more room to work with, and the 113% sRGB coverage translates to colors being a bit oversaturated, but otherwise rich and mostly accurate. As far as portability goes, the X13 checks almost all of the boxes. It's under 3 pounds, 1.3 kilograms, and only 0.62 inches, just under 16 millimeters thick. Besides that, it's got a very sturdy construction. The case, hinges, keyboard, and trackpad all feel solid and won't break under the stress of everyday travel. The addition of a touchscreen with tablet mode, rare in a gaming laptop, gives an extra boost to on-the-go productivity. The only thing missing is battery life. Even for a gaming laptop, the X13 underperforms, only delivering about 3 to 4 hours of light use. Now that we've started talking about negatives, let's take a look at the thermals. It's usually a strong point for ROG devices, but the X13 overheats like crazy. Not only that, but the fans are extremely loud and barely keep at its performance level. Some basic benchmarking reveals that sustained gaming usage has both the CPU and GPU operating at hotter than sustainable levels, and you'll see your performance drop the longer you play. So while you can launch newer games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla or Resident Evil Village at or near 60 FPS, that can drop to much lower the longer you play. Games like Cyberpunk and Control are within your reach, but will barely hit 40 FPS and can drop to 30 in overextended sessions. The Flow X13 is built to be used with the XG Mobile, and it's possible that will massively boost performance, but it basically costs as much as the laptop over again. A lot of port space is also taken up by the XG port, which is a point against it in terms of connectivity. Overall, the ASUS ROG X13 Flow is far from being perfect, but it's still an exciting ultra-lightweight laptop that can be used by both gamers and professionals. It offers excellent portability, outstanding processing power, high-quality construction, and even a 2-in-1 functionality, making it one of the most innovative laptops on the market in 2022. Number 1. MSI Prestige 14, the absolute lightest gaming laptop on the market. The MSI Prestige 14 is the lightest gaming laptop for sale in 2022. Coming in at 2.84 pounds, or 1.29 kilograms, it's not just light for a gaming laptop, but comes in below the average for most laptops for sale this year. The smaller screen size and thin case, only 0.63 inches or 16 millimeters, makes this overall the most portable gaming laptop you'll be able to get your hands on this year, though not by a huge margin. On paper, you're getting pretty decent performance, with an 11th Gen i7 processor, an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1650 graphics card, 16 GB of RAM, and a full terabyte of quick SSD storage. The biggest thing holding you back will be the graphics card. It does pretty well for most competitive online games, though in newer shooters you'll have to dial the settings back quite a lot. It will run most newer games, though you'll definitely need to choose between 60 FPS and high graphics. And some really demanding games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla won't hit either. In terms of gaming, this laptop is going to be the best for old favorites, not a machine to try out new games as they release on. Further, you're probably going to run into a lot of issues with cooling, no matter what you play. There's a solid amount of vent space along the bottom, and the way the lid hinges open creates a gap that will add a lot of extra ventilation if you're on a table or desk. Even then, it has to work hard to cool, and the bottom can easily exceed 105 degrees Fahrenheit, or 43 degrees Celsius, under sustained usage. Forget about gaming while sitting on a couch or common seating area, and we also recommend a cooling pad to achieve more feasible thermals. On the brighter side, the display is surprisingly good for a laptop in this price range. The Full HD 1920 by 1080 IPS panel has a truly excellent color accuracy, with up to 99% sRGB, providing you with rich and accurate colors across the board. The brightness is a little below average, maxing out around 280 nits, so you might get frustrated using this outside or in areas with a lot of natural light. On the other hand, it can be dimmed way down to 5 nits, reducing eye strain if you're using it at night. Now, while the design is pretty sleek and provides some nice aesthetics, the construction is a bit flimsy. The large trackpad is nice, but wobbles a bit when you use it, and the hinge to open the lid doesn't feel as sturdy as we'd like. Finally, the battery is average, but better than you'll often find in a gaming laptop, You should be able to get about 7 hours of light usage out of it. Obviously, that drops if you actually fire up any of your games, but it's still enough to move around with. To summarize, the MSI Prestige 14 is the lightest and most portable gaming laptop for sale this year. It definitely comes with some drawbacks, though none that should come as a surprise for something this light and thin. So if you're looking for the lightest and most portable gaming laptop to play your favorite games on and take everywhere with you, the Prestige 14 is your best bet. There you go. These were the 5 lightest gaming laptops available on the market in 2022. Be sure to check out the description to find the most up-to-date prices of all the laptops mentioned in this video. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like. If you're new to the channel and like the video, consider subscribing to the channel. We do our best to keep you up to date with the best products on the market. So if you want to stay updated on the best gear, make sure to hit that subscribe button. See you soon.